Next speaker, Mr. S.S. Mali, to please speak. This topic is response of broccoli to planting geometry and growth stage based fertigation patterns.
And students of the Central University of Jharkhand, very good afternoon to all of you. I'll be talking about response of the broccoli to different planting geometries and fertigation patterns, how the crop behaves under different planting geometries and these fertigation patterns. Next please. As we know that broccoli is also gaining importance in the farmers because of its high market cost, good price they are getting for their crop, and we know this climate of the Jharkhand or particularly this eastern region is very conducive for the broccoli, as the winter temperatures, daily average temperature is about 18 to 23 degrees Celsius. That gives good crop of broccoli in this region. But most of the times, traditionally, this word is not appropriate here because this broccoli crop is not traditional to this region. We are just last few years or last one decade maybe we are cultivating broccoli in this area, and whatever cultivation practices that farmers are following for this broccoli are the furrow irrigation system. They have small furrows and they are growing broccoli on that. But as we see that during last presentation, the area under drip irrigation is increasing, and we have to adopt the plant spacings and fertigation patterns to suit the drip irrigation system. You can see we have surveyed some farmers field and there is a lot of variation in the spacing of the broccoli. They are using the plant to plant spacings varies from 30 to 60 centimeter, and row to row spacing also varies from 50 to 80 centimeter. There is a lot of variation is there, and if we adopt a drip irrigation system, we should know what best spacing should be there for drip irrigations. So there are so many determinants of the reduced yields of broccoli because we have scanty plant stand, then lack of balanced fertilizer use, and poor irrigation management. These are the three major factors that influence the broccoli yields. And when we have to adapt these cropping crops to drip irrigation system, we have to standardize the plant spacing as well as we should know the better fertigation pattern. Here we can see the most of the drip irrigation systems that we have in Jharkhand or we practice in these sandy loam soils as discussed during Panig Rice's presentation. We have drip irrigation system with lateral to lateral distance of 1 to 1.2 meter, and emitter spacing is about 30 to 40 centimeter. And the lateral, soil moisture spread, as Panig Rice has said, it is about 50 centimeter or 40 centimeter. Then there are some adoption issues. What spacing should be used, what geometry, it should be rectangular or triangular, that I will come to the later. I will show you what is square and triangulated. And this will, if we adopt a proper system, this will lead to efficient water use, efficient nutrient use, as well as reduce the system cost. So there are some quotations that plant spacing depends on so many factors. Out of that, this competition for light and competition for the nutrient has been so already established by some researchers that planting geometry depends on all these factors. Now coming to the planting geometry, we have if we have a broccoli plant spaced at 60 to 60 centimeter row to row spacing, and if we have to adopt a drip system for that, the cost of the system will be very high under such arrangement. So we have to go for single lateral per 2 rows, and we can go for a triangulated arrangement or a zigzag arrangement of planting so that we can improve our yields. Now, as Dr. P.K. Singh sir in his keynote address said, the fertigation requirements of the crop are not uniform throughout the year. It varies as per the crop growth stage. For tomato also he showed that crop this fertigation requirement is higher at the latter stage when fruiting actually starts. But we have to develop this such kind of fertigation patterns for broccoli also, so that we can have a better nutrient uptake into the plants and loss of nutrients can be minimized to greater extent. So here the objective was, there are two simple objectives: to standardize the planting geometry and to standardize the fertigation pattern for broccoli. So for that we have used four planting geometries like square arrangement and this triangulated arrangement. These are the four planting geometries in which row to row spacing and plant to plant spacing is varied. Based on this spacing, the plantations, you can see the plant population per hectare. We have planting geometry, square geometry, that is 50 by 50 centimeter, 40 by 30 centimeter, 40 by 45 and 40 by 60. We have different plant populations here. Sir. And we use the three fertigation patterns for that. We have a uniform fertigation pattern that is traditionally being practiced for different crop. Then we applied the higher dose of fertilizer during developmental stage of the crop. That was the FP2 pattern, and we applied higher dose of fertilizer during the mid stage of the crop. So 3 patterns we have tested in this experiment. These are some experimental details. We had sandy loam soil. We used the split plot design with fertigation pattern as a main plot, and we have used the combination of urea and this water soluble fertilizer in 19 as combination of fertilizers. And for scheduling the irrigations, we have used the FAO-Penman-Monteith method to work out the water requirement of the crop. Now coming to the results, you can see the soil moisture levels here. Field capacity of the soil is about 28%, and the soil moisture in all the experimental plots was below the field capacity. That shows that deep percolation loss was not there. And coming to the broccoli yield, you can see here, this is the yield per plant, that is third yield. You can see here the S4 planting geometry showed, S4 planting geometry is the lowest plant population, had the highest third yield per plant. That is 737 gram per third yield was there. And if you relate the third yield with the plant population, as the plant population has increased, the third yield has reduced, that per plant yield has reduced. Now coming to the total broccoli yield of the area from different treatments, we can see the S2 planting geometry. That was the densest population. We had about 66 plants per hectare, 66,000 plants per hectare, resulted in the highest yield. And if we see the relationship between yield and the plant population, as the plant population has increased, the yield has increased. But we should have another treatment here to see if it further increases or remains at the plateau. That graph goes plateaus at the higher population levels. Now coming to the nutrient use efficiencies, we have assessed the nutrient use efficiencies for nitrogen, potassium and phosphorus. We can see the nitrogen use efficiency of 52% was observed, and the efficiencies, as sir said, it should be 95% under drip and fertigation. But here the dose is, efficiency is only 52%, mainly because the recommended dose we used in these treatments, recommended dose used in these treatments was mainly for the surface irrigation systems. Coming to the water productivity, we got highest water productivity under FP2 pattern, planting fertigation pattern and S2 planting geometry. That is highest density and fertigation pattern with initial dose is very high. Now this is the economic water productivity. We got 158 rupees per meter cube of water under the base treatment. Coming to the conclusions, we have seen that fertigation pattern as well as the planting geometry significantly influences the yield. And the base planting geometry is 40 to 30 centimeter in triangulated arrangement, and application of higher dose of fertilizer during 3rd to 7th week after plantation, after sowing, was the best, and that is the recommendations for the farmers of the region. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mali. I think next one question, if there is any question. Thank you. I think the next speaker